Do you happen to currently be in either time and or space? Then I might just have some information that's relevant to you. So enslaved masses that I know you are, veritably shackled to your computer chairs, eyes held open by matchsticks, I know you must have watched my introduction a few million billion times. And if you happen to be even a tiny bit fluent in circular Gallifreyan, you might have noticed that there is not one, but 2 doctors on there. So you can imagine that I was absolutely thrilled when Puffin asked me to take place in a special blogger tour they've got on surrounding the advent of the 12th Doctor, Peter Capaldi. I have, as I'm sure a lot of you have been, really excitedly watching this new Scotsman's interpretation of the role, but now we have something extra to go with that as well. Puffin have produced 12 short stories which you will soon be able to buy in a beautiful slipcover edition case, or that you can already buy as ebooks on iBooks and Amazon. Surprisingly enough, they're all about Doctor Who, one for each Doctor so far. The gift edition has such nice covers, they're so beautiful, this simplistic but very striking design. The ebook covers, they're okay. Even more exciting for us lot, us lot. The kind who read good books. These are all short stories written by fantastic young adult and children's authors. Holly Black, Neil Gaiman, Ian Colfer. Owen Colfer? Ian Colfer? I love that man and I still can't pronounce his damn name. Each of us bloggers was specifically given a short story to read and review. Mine was The Nameless City by Michael Scott. His being the second story, it focused on the second Doctor, Patrick Troughton. Michael Scott was, rather unfortunately, one of the only authors I'd never read anything by before. There's definitely still part of me that would have preferred a name I was really familiar with, but Michael's story was really interesting. So these are short stories, as I said. This maybe took me about half an hour to read. This story focused on the second Doctor and Jamie McCrimmon, an 18th century, I think, Scottish piper who the Doctor ends up taking on quite a few adventures with him. If nothing else, this story made me really want to go back and watch some of the original Patrick Troughton episodes. Or I should say, some of the Patrick Troughton episodes with Jamie McCrimmon in it. He was one who really got me interested. He sounded like a really intriguing character, this Scotsman out of time, quite funny but quite strong. Interesting. On this particular story, Jamie has been sent out on a mission. Well, with a shopping list. The Doctor needs some specific items to fix the TARDIS. Only, on his way, Jamie hears a noise. Someone is being attacked. He sees an old man on the floor, being beaten, having his money demanded of him, and he manages to wade in and save the day. The old man, surrounded by the scatters of his bag, antiquarian books, picks them all up and wants to thank Jamie for rescuing him, and does so by giving him an old, mysterious book, which Jamie, of course, gives to the Doctor. Only this, as in most stories, doesn't just turn out to be any old book. Jamie and the Doctor end up being pulled through time and space, forcibly directed by this evil book. To where? The Doctor tells the answer. To their certain doom. So I liked this story fairly okay. I'd argue, if anything, it suffered a bit from being a short story. There were so many questions still left unanswered, so many things I wanted to delve into and know more about. One of those is, what is this book's connection to H.P. Lovecraft? Because if any of you out there are Lovecraft fans, you must have noticed that The Nameless City, it's the name of one of Lovecraft's short stories, and our evil old book in it, surprisingly enough, turns out to be the Necronomicon. There's also a great many subtle references to the book Smelling of the Ocean. I was trying to work out, as I was reading it, knowing full well that my knowledge of Michael Scott, Lovecraft, early Doctor Who, all of this is lacking. But trying to work out whether Michael Scott was, as many before him have, just using the stories of H.P. Lovecraft as the folklore of his world, or whether he had something more than that, whether there were other references that I wasn't getting. If you fancy reading The Nameless City, the second of these short stories, you can quickly download it below in the blink of an eye, or you can enter to win one. Yes, I'm doing a competition again. It feels like every one of my videos these days is a competition. To enter, I'm going to give you guys the same question the publishers gave me. The question was, who is your favourite Doctor? And I break no great expectations in my answer. I'm a new Doctor Who watcher. I started with T. Davies, and my favourite, I think, will always be David Tennant. What about you guys? Post below, tell me you definitely want to enter. I'll put all those names in a hat and then send a book out to one of you. We were given 2 other little questions in our quickfire Doctor Who round. The first was, if you had the TARDIS, where would you go? The thing is, they asked that question with the blatant disregard for the fact that I am a history student. That question for me is too hard. If I had the TARDIS, I could go back and investigate any period of history I've studied. All those questions we asked, all that debate about whether this arrowhead really means that this guy was chief, or this woman was chief, or whatever, that could be known. I'm simply refusing to answer. This question is too hard. I will narrow it down to Earth. I've always found the ones on Earth more interesting than the ones that happen a million billion light years away. But with regards to anything more geographically specific, or any time period, you know, within the last 8,000 years. The final demand made of us was to describe the Doctor in one word. And again, I'm going to kind of cheat. My word is going to be transcendental. One of my favourite things about Doctor Who has always been that it keeps going. That from one actor to another, it evolves. It's not contained by a person. It's an idea greater than that. And that's why I love it. Anyway, tell me what you think of the sound of this short story. Visit the other blogs on the tour to find out all about the others, and do remember to enter my competition, just in the comments down below. Other than that, I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.